guys, we're going to dive into module number 6 now, which is going to be some frequently asked questions and maybe a little bit of troubleshooting, Greg. So let's wrap this up with some of the most common questions that Winchester Safes gets, because I'm sure you get a lot of them. So let's start with the most common.
We get quite a few of them. So the most common question that we get is, what happens when I lose my combination? It's the number one question we get. It's a valid concern. Contact our customer service department and they will walk you through the process. We understand that you're locked out. You probably got a high sense of urgency. We understand that. We got to verify who we're talking to first, and they'll ask you a couple of questions to do that, and they're there to help you get in that safe as fast as we can.
So as long as you've got your safe registered and you've got the proper ID, it sounds like you guys can get them in.
We can get them in.
Okay, that's good to know. Next up, and I know this is one that you get all the time as well, is what kind of battery should I use when it comes to the electronic lock? So talk us through that.
It's a good question. These electronic locks are super sensitive to batteries. They do not like to operate off of a cheap battery. Use a good battery, a Duracell or an Energizer 9-volt alkaline battery. They love those batteries and they'll operate right.
Let's talk about changing the battery, because I know you got a pretty cool analogy for that, right?
So yeah, changing the battery. The battery is located on the outside. So just remove the battery from the tray, plug a new battery in, and you're right back up and running.
Good. So don't cheap out on batteries. There you go. I know for me, you get a long time. You get about a year per battery. Is that kind of one of the things you guys recommend?
Depending on the usage, how often you're in and out of it. But I would recommend, when we're all running around as guys should do, change the battery in the smoke detector once a year. Just change the battery in your electronic lock on your Winchester gun safe and you're good to go.
There you go. Good habit. Treat it just like a smoke detector. I love that analogy. That's really good. Next up, how do I prevent moisture in my safe? That's something a lot of people are concerned about when it comes to rust, and depending on where you live, moisture can be a huge issue.
Another good concern. So here's the rule of thumb that we've used. The safe will take on the environment that it's in. So if you put the safe in the house and the house is climate controlled, it'll take on that environment. But if you stick it out in a barn or a garage where it's not climate controlled, concerned about humidity, I would then put a dehumidifier in. You can get an electronic dehumidifier. There's desiccant cans out there. There's bags, but I would definitely look at doing something like that.
And just something as simple as, a lot of times you see the ones that like people will put in an RV or a camper or something, just something to attract that moisture. Doesn't necessarily have to plug in, but it can be something like that.
There's a lot of different varying products to get that moisture out.
Do I need to bolt my safe down?
Another good question. And in our manual, in our warranty, we say and recommend that the user does bolt it down. Now look, something like this, big, heavy, it's not going to go anywhere. Something small, it could grow feet, could get stolen. But on the small stuff, if a burglar finds that safe in your house, he's likely to tip it over on its back and then try to pry it open. That's the best position for it to be pried open, is while it's laying on its back. A lot of the thieves think they're smart and they can get into them. But it's really kind of a rule of thumb, depending on where you put it, whether you bolt it down or not.
Okay, good deal. I know every Winchester safe actually comes pre-drilled.
It is.
Yeah, so if you are going to bolt it down, it's pre-drilled, ready to rock and roll. So, Greg, I'm glad we got to walk through some of those frequently asked questions. That'll certainly be helpful for people. And I think the bottom line is this: a little bit of setup is really going to go a long way, folks. Bolt that thing down, make sure you keep it dry, change your batteries once a year to make sure you're up and fresh, and make sure you're loading it up the right way, and you're safe. It's going to take care of the rest.